Hey guys, good morning. This is Gloria, and welcome back to another Maker Monday video. In this video, I wanted to share with you guys how sometimes when you import an image from any type of SVG, whether it is from the internet or, most times I think that a SVG, when it's created to be a particular SVG, meaning it's created to be a particular size, especially like when you get it from the internet and it says SVG, you will probably get the size that you need, and so you won't have to use this trick. But what I've noticed is that when I do get things from the Silhouette online store and you have the option of purchasing the SVG version of it, the SVG version does not import in the same size that the studio version will import in. And I'm not sure why that is because we pay for the SVG version. So the SVG version should be the same as the studio version, in my opinion. But when it's not, it can be a little frustrating and you may not know how to actually size it. I have just a little trick that I use to size a file to make sure that I can use it. And it's not foolproof, but it does help me. So here we go. I'm just going to go and click on upload right over here in the left hand corner. And as you can see, there's a lot of my little images that I bring over from the Silhouette online store because I have that membership. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click view all because I know that my little envelope that I wanted to cut out, it's in here somewhere. And like I said, this is not foolproof, but it is helpful. So this is the policy envelope. It may not look like it right now, and that's another issue that sometimes when you import your images over, they come in looking kind of weird. But trust me, it's there. So I'm going to just click on this and I'm going to click insert images. So when you insert the image onto your canvas in Cricut Design Space, and this is beta version 5.2.14 if it makes any difference. This also can be used, I believe, if you have any other machine. I do have the Maker, which is right here. But if you have any other machine, I believe you still use the same Cricut Design Space. So this should still work because this is not the actual cutting of this image. More so, this is the manipulation of this image. So right now, all the pieces are grouped together. As you can see right over here in the layers window, you have everything grouped together. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to just ungroup. Okay. And I'm going to take this black box that's sitting on top and I'm just going to move it over to the side for now. So now everything is separate. As you can see, the black box moved over and now it's gray. And we have that white stitch line right here. And then we have the envelope. Now, we need those stitch lines to actually attach themselves. And this is part of my problem because not only is this envelope, I'll click on it so you can see the dimension of it. This envelope, the entire thing unfolded is 3.273 by 3.018. That is super tiny, guys, super tiny. Because once you fold, think about this. If this width is 3.273, this is in three, this is three parts right here. Not that it's three equal sizes, but it's three parts. So if I were to fold this up at 3.273 inches, we already know that it's going to be about an inch or less of an envelope. I mean, it's going to be super tiny, and that is not what we want. So the first thing that we want to do for this particular image is we want to draw a boundary box around this envelope. And the reason we want to do that is because if you look over here, now you see these little perforated lines that should be attached already because it's the SVG that we purchased. These are now highlighted, and then the envelope is also highlighted, and that is what we want. We want to go right down here in the middle and we want to click attach. When we click attach, now when we move that, or when you look over here in this layers window, you see that the cut you know, both of these are on. So now these should cut. Um, so the perforated line should cut within the envelope. And if you're not sure if it does, because we may have to do something else. Sometimes you have to kind of play around with the settings and stuff, like the different things that it does. Because, like I said before, I'm not a pro at Cricut because I've used my silhouette for years. But if I click make it, as you can see right over here, this envelope right here is now going to cut with perforated lines. And that's exactly what we want. So I'm just going to click cancel, come back out of that. And now we know that the envelope is going to cut correctly. So now we got this super tiny envelope and it's huge rectangle, 2.896 by 6.271. This is supposed to be an A2 size envelope, guys. So this is supposed to be big enough to fit a 4.25 by 5.5, right? 4.25 by 5.5, yes. So we want to make sure that this rectangle is at least 4.25 by 5.5. So I'm just going to go right up here. It is highlighted, so I'm going to go right up here. I'm going to uncheck or unclick the little lock, and let's see how they're so right now the width is 2.896, which is right here. We want that to be 4.25. And then the height is 6.271. We want that to be 5.5. I'm just going to click enter on my keyboard, and now I have a square that's 4.25 by 5.5. Okay? Now, I'm going to go back over and I'm going to click, well, let's drag this over a little bit closer to our envelope. As you can see, this is a 4.25 by 5.5 inch card, and this is the envelope that it's supposed to fit in. Okay, so we're going to fix that problem. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to arrange, and I'm going to, oh, maybe it's already in the front, which is great, because that's what I was going to do, is just make sure that it was in the front. What I'm going to do, which is the easiest thing to do, is just drag this until it covers up that square. Now, I'm going to go back to my square, click right there, and I'm going to bring that forward. Okay, so here's my square, and that is my envelope. And as you can see now, this envelope is large enough to fit my 4.25 by 5.5 inch card, because this would be the card right here, the black, and this would be the envelope. And where the perforated lines are is where this envelope is going to fold. So you can make this envelope, if you want, a little bit smaller. Right now, the width of it is 9.399 by 8.665. You want to make sure that this lock is not unchecked, because you do want to keep the what do you call it, the you want to keep the proportions. There we go. We want to lock the proportions to make sure that it all kind of moves at the same rate, or at the same measurements. But we do want to make it larger so that our card will fit inside of it. So once you do that, now you have a SVG that you can actually use, and now it is a A2 size envelope, the way that it was meant to be. As you can see, the name of it is right over here, and this is the number. I will link that down below if you guys are looking for it in the Silhouette online store. It's 306165, and it's called envelope A2 with scallop or something like that. So that is how you will make your envelope. And if you don't want to use this square, you can always delete it and just have the envelope portion here, and cut these out and use them in whatever you like. So that is it. I hope that was helpful to someone. That is how you will make sure that your envelope is the correct size that you will need. You can also manipulate this a little further if you want it. You can make this a true policy envelope by cutting out some little circles and putting a little circle right here to put a hole there, and then cutting out some other little circles to put like hole reinforcements and different things like that. But for the most part, this is it. This is how you do it. So I hope that was helpful. And as always, guys, if you have any questions or comments, just leave them down below and I'll get back with you as soon as I possibly can. Take care, guys. Bye.